Sing it with life.
You're on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
You're listening to an encore presentation of this program, KCAA, the Inland Talk Express.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a special episode of The Real Men of Real Estate, hosted by me, Thomas F. Chappelle Jr. This is live. This is not Memorex. Last week was so interesting, and it was so great that we had to bring him back for a second time around because the man is bringing it. He's got a lot of content, so let's get ready to ride. Let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome our guest once again, Mr. Bruce Blaylock from Brooklyn. Like I said, I'm going to give him a pass because it's all about the boogie downs. How you doing, Bruce?
Fantastic. How are you doing, Thomas?
I'm doing wonderful. I do appreciate you coming back for the second time. I know last time we had some technical difficulties and we got you squared away, so now we can get started. So let us get to the point where we can start a little bit from last week and then we can start some new stuff today. So please, at your leisure, if you can go ahead and reintroduce yourself to the American folks and just let them know who you are and where you're from.
Sure. My name is Bruce Blaylock. My company is called the Blaylock Consulting Group, and we are a management consultant strategic advisory firm. We put together corporate sales strategies for businesses, strategic marketing plans, creative distribution programs. We do organizational engineering. We do infrastructure expansion. We put systems in place to make businesses more efficient, more consistent, more productive, more profitable. But Thomas, what we're most famously known for is our ability to creatively raise capital using strategies that are not only out of the box, but they help us to overcome a lot of the roadblocks and challenges that small, mid-sized, and emerging businesses come up against when they're trying to obtain funds.
Okay. So, once again, I want to give people a little bit of your background. Are you originally from New York, or were you born somewhere else and then you guys end up moving to New York?
Born and raised in Queens, New York. I have lived in Westchester, I've lived in Connecticut, and I've lived in Brooklyn. I currently now live in Long Island in Suffolk County. My office is in Manhattan at the MetLife Building, 200 Park Avenue.
Okay. So, going into understanding what it is that you do now, when you was in high school and you went to college, was there a different career that you was involved in before you got to where you are now, or have you always been in this career?
So I went to college at Syracuse University. I majored in economics with a concentration in finance and marketing. And very early on in my career, I got into actual sales. And I found that if I could sell at an exceptional level and present myself at an exceptional level, that it would open up many, many doors. And it actually did. I started managing large sales organizations, building sales teams, putting together systems to make the sales teams more efficient and more profitable. I increased the average sales transaction with many of the companies that I work with. I increased the closing ratio, the sales cycle. I decreased the sales cycle often by 25 to 30%. And what I found is that these skills were skills that were invaluable to all businesses at all levels. But I did this for a while in corporate America. I worked for $1 billion home improvement company where I built a sales organization that started out with a few representatives doing $80,000, $90,000 a month to an organization of 5 managers, 50 sales reps doing several $1 million a month in revenue. So I found that the skills and ability to sell, close, present myself, and teach others to do that on an executive and management level on a national scale would generate wealth for myself and success. And I found that, you know what? I need to stop building other people's dreams and do it for myself. So I eventually, it led me into starting my own business and becoming a management consultant with all the skills and knowledge and wisdom I derived over the years.
Now, I want to stay right here on the word sell because people understand that selling adds value. And how can you be able to have somebody to trust and believe that they should buy your product versus someone else's product? So, how do an average person that's never sell before understand that they do have the capability of selling? Because I tell people that when it comes to selling, um, just think of it is that when you met your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, or your wife, you sold yourself to that individual to trust you enough that they will want to take a stand at dating you. And without any trust, there's no value. There's nothing there. So how can somebody just off the street, if you will, or fresh out of high school, fresh out of college, understand the dynamics when it comes to selling? Could you expound on that, please?
First thing that you want to do is you want to develop your craft. You want to do a lot of reading and learning about selling systems and strategies and techniques and methodologies. And you want to learn what some of the greats have done: Brian Tracy, Zig Ziglar, Dale Carnegie, Tom Hopkins. There's a lot of individuals, Jim Rohn, out there who teach not only motivational experiences, but they also teach sales strategies and marketing strategies and how to be your own boss and how to create wealth and value and build rapport and establish trust. And learning these skills will do that if you learn them at the highest level. And, I poured a lot of time and energy into myself building my craft. And anything that you pour yourself into, anything that you do long enough, you're going to get good at. So, I have over 20 years of experience closing, selling, um, and teaching others how to do that at a master level. One of the things that's most important, though, when in selling and trying to persuade someone to hear your point is spending time with them. And that's one thing that I'm known for and known for with my clients is spending time with them, is educating them, teaching them, helping them to understand not only my business and why I'm going to be a partnership with them in terms of helping them out, but I'm going to explain to them so that they truly understand the industry of what I'm offering and how I can deliver what I say I'm going to do. And that comes with spending time with clients and teaching and educating. You're not just trying to say, hey, this is a product, this is great. But before you even do that, you want to educate and teach uh, people why they need to go with your strategy, your system, your technique, your methodology, your ideology. These are things that you want to win the client over first, and you do that by educating and teaching them. Financial literacy is one of the most important things that I teach and I do in the process of raising capital for my clients. I don't just raise it, I explain to them why we're going to do what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. I've been doing it for so long that I've learned for myself that I need to make sure that the client understands exactly what I'm offering and not just selling him all the bells and whistles, but teaching and educating him why he needs what he needs.
Now, using that when you're talking about building financial wealth and things of that nature, I mean, we hear that all the time, financial wealth and generational wealth and things like that. And the problem with most of us is not that we don't understand that, is how can we achieve that, knowing that in a financial situation where I would love to do it, but I got all my monetary needs to be met. So every time I say I'm going to do it, something else comes up which blocks me from going ahead and do it and want to make that sacrifice. So how how can people understand when it comes to the value of their credit and being able to make their credit work for them instead of them working for their credit? Because like I tell people, credit to me is like a tracking device, just like your social security card. It's like a tracking device. And the bottom line, if you don't understand how that works, then how can you capitalize and say, hey, this is what I need to do, in order for me to go to the next level, because a lot of us has been taught to go to school, get good grades, go to college, get you a good job with benefits, not go to school, get good grades, go to college and start your own business. When there's a lot of us that are entrepreneurs in hindsight, however, how do I get to that point where I can know for a fact that I can be that best entrepreneur and utilize the tools that you're talking about, especially with building wealth and credit and things like that? Please answer.
A great question. First of all, the most successful people in the world and the wealthiest in the world don't work for other people as a standard. Statistically, if you just look at it, if you look at all the people in the world who are the wealthiest, they're not employees, they're employers, they are entrepreneurs, they are individuals who have created something in a marketplace where there's a great demand for it. And they put systems in place to distribute that product or that service out to the masses. And they've set up proper infrastructure so that they can pass this product through the chains of business and the chains of staff and employees to present a particular outcome, a particular benefit or feature or an advantage for a customer, a client, or an individual. One thing that's important that we do at the Blaylock Consulting Group is we believe in generational wealth. We teach generational wealth. We strategically position our clients for generational wealth. And the way that we do that is this. We have a 3-step program. We repair, rebuild, and enhance credit as a strategy to make everyone possible to receive the capital and funds that they desire. Sometimes people will say to me, Bruce, I only need $50,000 to launch my business, but they'll have $500 credit. So we'll repair, rebuild, and enhance their credit so that they can qualify for much more funds than they currently are able to. We'll then raise the funds, usually anywhere between $50,000 to $500,000, depending on the circumstances. Then we'll identify an immediate income-producing asset for our clients, a business that is usually netting 40 to 90% in net profit and grossing 3 to 10 times the purchase price of the opportunity. So if we identify a laundromat, for example, that is $100,000, that laundromat will gross at least $300,000 to $400,000 or $500,000, and it will net usually laundromats 40 to 50% net profit after business expenses. Some businesses will net 80 to 90%, and we spend a lot of time cherry picking these opportunities for our clients. The idea is that we create an opportunity whereby our clients are not only able to service the debt from the money that they borrow, that we help them to borrow and to obtain, but they're also creating revenue streams for themselves, sometimes anywhere between $2,000 to $5,000 to $6,000 net income a month after debt service. And that's accomplished through the strategy of identifying assets and businesses that are highly profitable. It may take 30 to 50 businesses for us to find the one that meets our criteria to provide for our clients so that they're able to cash flow highly profitable in a way that creates wealth, generational wealth for them.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start right here and take our first commercial break. We'll be back more with our guest, Bruce Blaylock. This is your host, Thomas F. Chappelle Jr. with the Real Men of Real Estate. See you back in 2. Thanks.
Do you remember the power of dreaming? M. Teresa Lawrence helps us all reconnect with imagination through her renowned Leadership of Play coaching program. Schedule a session with Teresa on Instagram at Your Trueness to ignite creativity and pursue huge dreams once more. Don't let your spark fade. DM Teresa at Your Trueness today and reclaim the magic of dreaming.
Tired of qualifying your leads and not getting the right clients for you? Join the finest women in real estate and learn how to attract the best clients and increase your referral network. Call now at 951-378-5316. 951-378-5316 and become one of the finest women in real estate.
This is Steve Matley. Join me every Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio Talk Show. I spent decades as a professional construction manager, business owner, real estate developer, and a college educator, and I enjoy learning new things from other people. We talk a lot about real estate, business, and finance, but we cover a diverse range of other topics as well. Some of the topics we've discussed in the past few months include real estate investing, leadership, higher education, ADUs, marketing using technology, multifamily rental property, business strategy, entrepreneurship. You never know who may show up or what they may talk about, so join us right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio.
Hey guys, it's Damon, Mr. Foxy, Damon Hart, and I'm here with the Men of Real Estate, and I just want to say, hey, come and watch us this Sunday, 1 p.m. live, every Sunday, okay? We're going to be on KCAA Radio, 1050 a.m., 106.5 FM. If you got a minute, just tune in. We can't wait to have you here. I'm going to be there. If you can't make it on there, we're going to be at Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, or Android app on Building Solid Foundations channel. So tune in. You know what you got to do in the meantime. Keep it foxy.
Fire Up Connect is the most innovative business networking group, supporting and collaborating with a dozen of small businesses that are interested in building and establishing strong business connections, hosting educational live seminars while carrying out business and community-driven projects, as well as marketing programs as a part of its membership program. Fire Up Connect also offers virtual assistance with a wide range of services including inbound customer support, chat support, appointment setting and email management, graphic designing, video editing, web design and development, social media marketing, e-commerce solution, content writing and much more. For more information, head on over to www.fireupconnect.com. Fire Up Connect, helping success stories unfold every day.
Welcome back to the Real Men of Real Estate, hosted by me, Thomas F. Chappelle Jr., your host of the Black Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club and a lot of other things. We're with, I guess, Mr. Bruce Blaylock. We had him last week. We had some technical difficulty. However, not only that, he had put a lot of nuggets out there, so we had to bring him back for a second go round. So where we left off at, we was talking about being able to help people build wealth and being able to use that with the point of credit. Now, let me ask you this question. How many of your clients that you have that you really have to help them understand if they have had to change their mind to say, well, I have this type of credit, and now I'm looking to obtain a different type of credit and being able to use that to be able to start their business and versus taking those assets and using them for something different than what they are meant to be used for?
That's a great question. Actually, I find that usually half of the people that I meet have their own businesses. Out of that half that have their own businesses, half of those have businesses that are established and cash flowing. So what I try to do is I try to get the clients to understand that if you're going to put money into your own business, you want to make sure that you're able to multiply that business and it has the ability to service the debt on the money you borrowed, or you're going to be in worse shape than when you started. And that's the problem with many entrepreneurs. It's just a fact. 95% of most businesses fail within the first 5 years. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're starting or launching a business, it is likely that the business is going to fail. It's just statistics on how it is. So if the entrepreneur is not savvy and has not gone through the growing pains of developing and growing his business, because the reality of it is it takes time. It takes time to establish your strategic partnerships, to create opportunities for you. It takes time to develop your financial model, develop your business model, to get your business to consistently cash flow. It takes time to establish the manufacturing and strategic partnerships that can create constant flow of product or services through a proper infrastructure so that your business will be successful. It just takes time. And often during that time frame, if you haven't learned how to create cash flow in your business or position your business to consistently cash flow, you're going to run through any money that you borrow. And most entrepreneurs don't have that down and have not learned how to do that yet. So what I found that I needed to do and to assist entrepreneurs was to provide them with a risk mitigating strategy. And that strategy was to raise funds, allow them to use, I don't allow them, but for them to use a portion of that capital for their business to do what they need to do, or to do what they want to do, and then take the other portion of that funds and put it into a vehicle that's immediate in producing cash flow and capital. So that this way the money and the debt is serviced on the business that they have, and the money and the debt is serviced on the business that they purchased that I've identified. And usually what happens is not only is the debt serviced on both opportunities, but there is a positive cash flow above and beyond the business expenses and the debt service so that wealth creation is possible. Let me give you an example. I had a client of mine who had a fashion company, was very speculative investment. And he said, Bruce, I need $50,000. So what I did is I said, well, let's look at your credit. And he had $500 credit, maybe not even that, meaning that he could raise maybe $500 if he was lucky. So I repaired, I rebuilt, and I enhanced his credit profile. I have attorneys that do credit repair. They're very, very good. We repair credit much more expediently than most credit repair companies. Most companies are taking their time, 6 months to a year, and they remove 65% of most derogatories. We're closer to 85 to 90% of most derogatories, if not all. And we're more on significant results in 60 days, completion in 90 to 120 days usually. So we're much faster. But we not only repair credit, but we help to build it through a portfolio of lenders, retail and institutional meaning banks, that will approve our clients even if they have poor credit. So we may add 5 to 8 lines of credit that are primary, meaning the credit is in their name. And we'll have credit also that is seasoned and established that will also add to their credit profile. So between the primary and the secondary levels of credit that we add to credit profile, we may add 7 to 10 lines of credit to a weak and shallow credit report, thereby adding $40,000 to $60,000 in available credit and 7 to 10 lines of credit. So now we have a highly fundable candidate that we can then raise $50,000 to $150,000 and upwards of $250,000 in funding on. We then take that capital and we put the money into a business that will cash flow immediately. Gas station, check cashing business, truck route, Pepsi, Snapple, Orange Juice, potato chip, FedEx, laundromats, ATM routes. We have online businesses that are completely turnkey, owner absentee businesses, so that people work a 9-to-5 job or have a full-time business of their own that keeps them very, very busy. These businesses have employees in place that manage the operations so that the client is not working and making the donuts, so to speak. So what we're doing is we're pairing, building, enhancing credit as a strategy to have a successful raise of capital. We then take that capital, we put a portion of it in the business that they may have, they're trying to launch. So as example, the fashion company, we might put 50,000 in that and then take the other 100,000 and put it into a route, truck route. A truck route is a combination of 50 accounts with a truck driver and clients who are established who every week need your product and that you make profit on. You may be able to buy a truck route for 100,000. That route will gross 400,000 and net 60 to 70,000. That $70,000 services the debt on the $50,000 for the fashion company, services the debt on the $100,000 for the truck route, and on above and beyond that, there is at least $1,500 and sometimes up to $4,000 or $5,000 in positive cash flow above and beyond the debt service and the business expenses. These businesses that we identify again are cherry picked, so some of them will profit at 80, 90% net profit, after business expenses. And again, we may look at 30 to 50 businesses to find one that meets our criteria. The goal is creating wealth, generational wealth for our clients through the ability of obtaining immediate income producing assets that cash flow at 3 to 10 times the purchase price and net profit at 40 to 90%.
Okay, so I'm gonna do something real quick. I'm gonna give a shameless plug. I am. This is Thomas F. Chappelle Jr. and I'm saying that I am working with Mr. Blaylock on obtaining a lot of his services. The one thing I did not know before I met him, I knew about getting your credit straight, which I did do that, was the trade lines, and he educated me on that, and that's going to launch me into the next stratosphere. So, just wanted to put that out there. So I am a client of his, and I do approve this message. Now, the second thing is that how come there's not a lot of people such as yourself that people know about, or how can they find you to where they can go ahead and get started? Because the biggest thing is that a lot of people have researched certain things, and there's people all over the world doing this. You know what I'm saying? And the trust is the biggest factor, especially when you're talking about working with other people's money. You know, a lot of people are doing things that don't really have the funds to do it. So one is that how come there's a lot of not a lot of people like yourself that are very serious and straightforward that they can find and trust and to believe in. And then on top of that, the next part of that question is that how would they be able to trust you and not thinking that you're just taking their money and run?
That's a really great question. First of all, I've been doing this for about 15 years. And I've worked and served as an expert speaker and a panelist for the NAACP at one of their branches, the African American Chamber of Commerce as well too. I've served as an adjunct instructor for Medgar Evers College School of Professional Training and Development years back. And the reason why these groups and associations do work with me and make their constituency available to me, as well as other nonprofit organizations, churches, and things like that, is because I perform. I actually do no advertising on Facebook or YouTube or TikTok or any of the social media platforms. I have strategic partnerships of which I perform for, and they refer me a constant flow of consistent business. And to be able to do that over the course of over 13 years speaks a lot for itself. But I work with these groups and organizations because I perform. If you take somebody's credit and you take it from a 501 to 780 inside of 90 days to 120 days, they tend to refer you to a few people. If you then take that client and that individual and then you raise $150,000 of financing for you, they tend to refer you to a lot of people. But then not only raise the capital, not only repair the credit, but then help them to obtain a business that generates a $300,000 to $500,000 gross income and a net income after debt service and after business expenses of $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, if not more. They tend to love you. And that opens up a lot of doors and a lot of opportunities. And having done that for many, many years is what's created the opportunity for me to do this as long as I've done. It's not easy. I'm far from perfect. I'm a work in progress, but I've helped out many, many, many different organizations and groups and associations. And the constituency has become available to me through the ability of just performing. I tell people all the time that I've learned a lot of lessons. In my early years when I did this, I used to raise capital for people. And I was raising $100,000, $120,000, $30,000 in cash, and sometimes another $100,000 to $125,000 to $30,000 in credit. And the individuals weren't used to having that type of money, and they were running through the money, blowing it, popping bottles, buying cars, traveling. And I said, you know, I looked in the mirror one day, and even though they weren't complaining because they were getting more money than they ever had in their life, I looked in the mirror one day, I said, this isn't good. I need to create opportunities for them to put that money into safer and immediate income producing assets, into vehicles that will create wealth for them. And I think that's what a lot of these organizations and groups like about me is I promote economic development empowerment, I promote generational wealth, and I promote financial literacy. I'm all about educating. For me, it actually matters to me that with the money I raise, I make sure you're in a better position than when you first met me. And that comes through educating our clients and teaching them and explaining to them that, hey, you have a business. I know you like your business, but if you can put the money or wait or at least share the money into a business that's going to absolutely cash flow, service debt, and create an income stream for you, this is where wealth creation begins. And it's imperative that we learn that as individuals, that we become patient in our desire to obtain wealth and to be successful in the endeavors that we try to accomplish ourselves in. It's important that we teach ourselves and learn, financial literacy at the highest level, and we learn the vehicles needed and the strategies needed to accomplish great success, wealth, and prosperity and abundance.
Okay, great. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our second commercial here, and we're going to be coming back and speaking more on this topic with our guest, Bruce Blaylock. This is your host, Thomas F. Chappelle Jr. with the Black Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club. Stay tuned. See you back in 2. Thanks.
Do you remember the power of dreaming? M. Teresa Lawrence helps us all reconnect with imagination through her renowned Leadership of Play coaching program. Schedule a session with Teresa on Instagram at Your Trueness to ignite creativity and pursue huge dreams once more. Don't let your spark fade. DM Teresa at Your Trueness today and reclaim the magic of dreaming.
Tired of qualifying your leads and not getting the right clients for you? Join the finest women in real estate and learn how to attract the best clients and increase your referral network. Call now at 951-378-5316. 951-378-5316 and become one of the finest women in real estate.
This is Steve Matley. Join me every Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations radio talk show. I spent decades as a professional construction manager, business owner, real estate developer, and a college educator, and I enjoy learning new things from other people. We talk a lot about real estate, business, and finance, but we cover a diverse range of other topics as well. Some of the topics we've discussed in the past few months include real estate investing, leadership, higher education, ADUs, marketing using technology, multifamily rental properties, business strategy, entrepreneurship. You never know who may show up or what they may talk about, so join us right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio.
Hey guys, it's Damon, Mr. Foxy, Damon Hart, and I'm here with the Real Men of Real Estate. And I just want to say, hey, come and watch us this Sunday, 1 p.m. live, every Sunday. Okay, we're going to be on KCAA Radio, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM. If you got a minute, just tune in. We can't wait to have you here. I'm going to be there. If you can't make it on there, we're going to be at Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, or Android app on Building Solid Foundations channel. So tune in. You know what you got to do in the meantime. Keep it foxy.
Fire Up Connect is the most innovative business networking group, supporting and collaborating with a dozen of small businesses that are interested in building and establishing strong business connections, hosting educational live seminars while carrying out business and community-driven projects, as well as marketing programs as a part of its membership program. Fire Up Connect also offers virtual assistance with a wide range of services including inbound customer support, chat support, appointment setting and email management, graphic designing, video editing, web design and development, social media marketing, e-commerce solution, content writing, and much more. For more information, head on over to www.fireupconnect.com. Fire Up Connect, helping success stories unfold every day.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Real Men of Real Estate, hosted by me, Thomas F. Chappelle Jr., also the Black Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club. We're here with our special guest again because of by popular demand. The man is in, he's in demand. So this is Mr. Bruce Blaylock. Okay, so Mr. Blaylock, you and I have been talking, since we met about doing some different adventures as far as helping people put their capital somewhere that they can invest. We also had a meeting this past Friday to talk about helping people put their monies in where they can grow and be getting 40 to 50% on their return and things of that nature. So, and I know you're interested in doing some other things that I had spoke about and whatnot. So, when you're talking about helping people understand to build capital and turn around and invest that capital, um, and all the things that you do, what's the, in other words, let me ask you this. What gets you out of bed every morning to where you do what you do? Is it because this is what you love doing? Or is this because you're just doing it because it's a job? Or, you know, what is it? Talk to me. Tell me about that. I want to get to know the Bruce Blaylock.
You know, I love doing this, and I tell you, when I started my own business many years ago, gosh, over 13 years, almost 14 years, about 14 years or so, almost 15 actually. Wow. I found that being a benefit and a blessing to people is my calling. You know, I work in my church as a director of a men's ministry, and helping the men create wealth was one of the biggest blessings I say that I've been able to accomplish. Um, Enabling families to obtain capital, buy businesses, and put them in a completely different financial situation has been a blessing, one of the biggest blessings for me. And just doing that to individuals, you know, all across the United States as well is a blessing. It's exciting, you know, having updates from my team and they say, oh, we got such and such as a credit file, and here's the update. They were 502 and now they're 681 after the first dispute round. So that's exciting. And then delivering that great news to people who have always been in the 500s in reference to their credit, and now after just 35 days, they're 130, 150 points higher, or after a couple of months, they're in the 700s, or after 90 to 120 days, they've rebuilt their credit profile from having all negative accounts to having 7 accounts that are all reporting positively, and their scores in the high 700s. It's exciting doing funding with clients and showing them how we're going to use a particular strategy to obtain lots of small loans to create $150,000 in total funding. And we use strategies that are out of the box that people are not aware of. And they go, wow, where'd you learn this stuff from? It comes from just years of experience of making mistakes, learning, trial and error, and building a great portfolio of lenders and knowing exactly what the profiles need to look like so that we can get approvals. I had a person who said to me, he says, Bruce, I had a 780 credit score. And this is just an example. I had a 780 credit score, and I was able to only get $25,000. How did you get me $160,000? I said, well, the first thing is that when you attempted to apply for credit, you had too many inquiries. So you can have credit score in the 800s, but if you got too many inquiries, you'll just be denied, or you'll get low-level approval amounts, or you'll get very little funding. I said, in all the applications you did were all under one bureau. So once you got approved with one, you didn't have enough inquiry space to get any more approvals. So what I did is I removed all your inquiries just about, so that enabled me to fund you across Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion with 7 to 8 applications and get approval with them because we matched them exactly with the lenders that were the best match based on your credit profile. So we're doing things very strategically and tactfully that enables us to get the most amount of approvals because we know exactly what bureaus the lenders pull. We know exactly what the profile needs to look like to get those approvals. And we know exactly how we need to build the credit profile out so that it gets the maximum levels of approval with the best terms. So as a result, we may get 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 approvals in private lenders' cash loans and in credit cards, which the total amount will sometimes sum up to $250,000 in funding. And for those that have super strong credit and have significant income, we sometimes can reach the $500,000 mark between business and personal funding. So we're very creative, we're very strategic. We have the intel to obtain capitals that are in a supernatural level, and we perform. We're not perfect, but we're working on ourselves every day. I work on myself every day. By the grace of God, He's blessed me with knowledge, wisdom, and experience to be a blessing to others.
Great. Now, like I said before, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you the truth. I am a client of his, so this is not something that I'm making up. I am truly a client of his. Also, wanted to know, Mr. Blaylock, is there any future speaking engagements on your horizon?
None anytime soon. I used to do a lot of speaking engagements before COVID, but none soon. I'm very, very busy. I've established a number of strategic partners that are bringing me a constant flow of business. I'm actually working on scaling my business and increasing my own infrastructure to manage the new strategy that I'm employing with increasing my own infrastructure and my own lead generation program. So I got my hands full. I'm very, very grateful. And for anyone that is interested in my strategies, my systems, my techniques, and my methodology of repair, rebuild, enhance credit to raise capital, to establish generational wealth through the acquirement of assets that produce immediate and consistent income, they can check out my website. It's BCG, Blaylock Consulting Group, BCG-funding, so that's a dash funding.com. My telephone number is 646-741-6521. You'll reach my receptionist, which if I'm not busy, she'll patch the call through or push it through to a voicemail.
Repeat that again for me, please.
Again, my website is BCG, Blaylock Consulting Group. That's what it stands for, BCG. Hyphen is like a dash, funding, funding.com. It's my website. And my telephone number is 646-741-6521.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our last commercial break here, and we're going to come back and wrap this up with our special guest, Bruce Blaylock. This is your host, Thomas F. Chappelle Jr. of the Real Men of Real Estate, also the Black Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club. See you in 2.
Do you remember the power of dreaming? M. Teresa Lawrence helps us all reconnect with imagination through her renowned Leadership of Play coaching program. Schedule a session with Teresa on Instagram at Your Trueness to ignite creativity and pursue huge dreams once more. Don't let your spark fade. DM Teresa at Your Trueness today and reclaim the magic of dreaming.
Tired of qualifying your leads and not getting the right clients for you? Join the finest women in real estate and learn how to attract the best clients and increase your referral network. Call now at 951-378-5316. 951-378-5316 and become one of the finest women in real estate.
This is Steve Matley. Join me every Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations radio talk show. I spent decades as a professional construction manager, business owner, real estate developer, and a college educator, and I enjoy learning new things from other people. We talk a lot about real estate, business, and finance, but we cover a diverse range of other topics as well. Some of the topics we've discussed in the past few months include real estate investing, leadership, higher education, ADUs, marketing using technology, multifamily rental property, business strategy, entrepreneurship. You never know who may show up or what they may talk about, so join us right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio.
Hey guys, it's Damon, Mr. Foxy, Damon Hart, and I'm here with the Real Men of Real Estate. And I just want to say, hey, come and watch us this Sunday, 1 p.m. live, every Sunday. Okay, we're going to be on KCAA Radio, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM. If you got a minute, just tune in. We can't wait to have you here. I'm going to be there. If you can't make it on there, we're going to be on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, or Android app on Building Solid Foundations channel. So tune in. You know what you got to do in the meantime. Keep it foxy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Real Men of Real Estate, hosted by your guest, Thomas F. Chappelle Jr., me, your host. I could be a guest too, but wanted to get some more content from Mr. Blaylock before we wrap it up. The one thing I wanted to ask you, because I know I asked you last time, so I'm not going to ask you this one. What is it that you would like for the radio and video people to get out of this interview that we did last week and this week? What is it that you want them to truly get and understand and grasp, that they, whatever they put their minds to, they can be successful at? Because I tell people a lot, one of my favorite books is The Richest Man in Babylon. I know we all listen to Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I got a lot out of it, but the majority what I got out is Rich Dad, Poor Dad, not Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Richest Man in Babylon, and also Think and Grow Rich. So what is your expectation that you want the audience to get out of this?
Great question. I like that. One is that true wealth and abundance comes from not working for someone else, but for yourself. So that's the first thing. Two, if you're going to borrow any capital to put into your own business, make sure there is a strategy for that capital to multiply itself and produce income for you. People haphazardly borrow money without a plan, a budget, a business strategy on how they're going to enable that money to create income for them. And they just put it into things that do nothing but create a black hole for the money. And then when they're not able to pay it back, it just destroys their credit, personal and business. So if you're going to put the money that you do borrow into your business, have a plan of action, a strategy, understand what your burn rate, which is what your expenses are monthly, understand what they are and how long you think it will be before you start to cash flow. And if you do start to cash flow, how much that will be, and is it enough to service the debt and create income and wealth for you? So that's the second thing. The third thing is that if you don't have a business that can create income, come and pay me a visit. I'll create income by repairing, rebuilding, and enhancing your credit through the idea of taking the capital that we raise from having enhanced your credit to getting you vehicles to put it into that are safe, consistent, and immediate. These businesses are not sexy, but the money is very sexy. They produce immediate income, consistent income, and substantial income. People say, well, how do you get these businesses? You know, why are people selling them? It's kind of like anything, just like real estate. If you look enough, you'll find opportunities that are below market value, that are highly profitable, that the investment strategy of obtaining and owning them is highly lucrative. It's the same in purchasing businesses. What I like about businesses, though, is unlike real estate, which appreciates 3 to 4% a year, if you provide the proper strategies to a business and it doubles in its net profit and it doubles or triples in its gross revenue, which can be accomplished in 2, 3, 4, 5 years with proper strategizing, the wealth of that business can double. And that's something that doesn't usually happen in real estate. Even if you put money and invest into it and fix it up, you can definitely, create wealth. Real estate beyond, it's without question one of the best tools for creating wealth. But I like businesses because of their ability to significantly cash flow. You can buy a business for $125,000, and that business will gross you $500,000 in gross revenue. That gross revenue will position you to be able to borrow more money in a year from now to buy another business. and NetShoe. Whoever heard of a business that generates $100,000? That's $100,000 a purchase and generates $100,000 in net profit. I identify businesses like that all the time. It may take us a lot of businesses to find that business, a lot of research to find it, but we find it, and we do it all the time, every day. And you can take that $100,000 business, put a manager in place for $40,000 or $50,000, a great manager, and then have a business that is netting you $50,000, a $50,000 income. That's an owner absentee business. Think about that.
It's wonderful. Cool. That is wonderful. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not selling you on his services. I don't have to. The man's bringing a whole lot of content. I wish that we had more time to elaborate on a lot of things that he does. And I am a client of his, and I'm not going to say that just to be saying it. I am a client of his, and we're going to do wonders with what he's doing for me and us talking about getting into some other investment adventures. So, Bruce, I want to thank you once again for being so patient and so coming to come again the second time around. This time we got you straight on video. So anybody wants to regurgitate, and I use the word regurgitation because it sounds much harsher than saying, oh, well, you can go re-listen or go revisit it any other time. So once again, real quick, if you can give your information in case those just came in so they can reach out to you, please.
Sure. My website is BCG Blaylock Consulting Group, a boy, cat, girl, BCG, hyphen is like a dash, funding, funding.com. That's my website. On my website is my bio, my background, my consulting services. I provide a list of consulting services along with the acquisition of a business, and I provide a list of consulting services for emerging businesses, mid-sized businesses, and sales, marketing, business development. So with me, you don't just get someone who repairs credit or someone that raises capital or even helps you to buy business, but you also get a management consultant who can help you with strategy to make your business more efficient, consistent, productive, and profitable. And I also have a lead generation program to drive traffic to businesses as well too. So what I'm doing now is I'm not only helping my clients to obtain businesses, but I'm driving more traffic and more and increasing their audience and their expanding their demographic and their market that they can approach with my lead generation, SEO, search engine optimization program, and telemarketing, and email and text marketing program. So I'm driving more business to these clients that I've helped to obtain businesses, thus increasing the amount of revenue the business does, enabling my clients to have an exit to sell the business in 2 to 5 years for 100% increase in value.
Well, Bruce, I want to thank you. I want to thank you again because we're running out of time. Like I said, you can go ahead and regurgitate this over and over on all the social media platforms. This is your host, Thomas F. Chappelle Jr. of the Real Men of Real Estate. Please stay tuned for our next show. Will be December 24th. And then after that, I'll see you guys next year. Have a good one. Thanks a lot, Bruce.
Thank you, Thomas. Have a great day.
Go ahead and say it. We're all...
Now you can listen to KCAA Radio anytime on your smartphone